Namek. I'm a variety streamer and creator who plays through some story games and, in general, a lot of random games. My biggest focus is really just to have some fun and to share the stuff I enjoy while creating a community that can support each other. I've always loved playing games, and back in 2019, I started streaming and recording videos. And if you've been around for a while, you may be going, but wait, I thought you started during the pandemic. You'd also be correct, because technically, I've started twice. In 2019, I started to stream and record my Starbound series. I was going to record it, so I figured I might as well try and stream it on this new service that I found called Twitch. At this point, I didn't really have any plans. I was just going to make this series and have some fun with it. That's about it. No grand plans, really. But then the pandemic hit, and I ran out of content to watch on YouTube. You know, the infinite source well of content. I managed to run it dry. And so I started watching the Oxcast over on Twitch. I had some good fun with that. Because I was watching them on YouTube, and I knew they were on Twitch. And from there, I found other streamers because of raids and such. And I made a lot of new friends. Because the smaller the group, the easier it was to talk amongst each other. Well, after meeting so many people, especially other people who were trying streaming for the first time or just trying new things during the pandemic, it gave me a lot of inspiration to really try streaming a bit more routinely. And that's when I started streaming Metal Arms Glitch in the System. One of my favorite games in the world. Absolutely love it. It's been an amazing game to play. And I really just wanted to be able to share it with other people while having a good bit of fun. Along with... Okay, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Audio seems good. Assuming I didn't break anything, but that is possible. Let's get this recording going, and hello my Twilight Knights! I am Namek, and this week we will be doing some more Gems of War, do the guild event, help out my guild a bunch, and just generally have some fun, I think. I have caught up on all the, most of the different things I've been needing to do. I did forget... Turn that down a bit. Okay, that should probably be good. Hopefully, at least. Hopefully it's loud enough that can be heard, but not too loud that it's annoying. I just don't want to deal with the sound too much. Just because the music has a lot of variability to it, and it's fine when I'm listening to it, but it bothers me when it comes to the streaming side of things. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. I've been, well, I did some homework this morning. I then went shopping for some food because I needed to do that. And, yeah, food, homework. Came back, slip and fell. I'm not sure what I slipped on, but when I was grabbing one of the bags, or going out to grab one of the bags, I slipped on the doorstep and just absolutely careened. And my back is still a bit annoyed about that. And my arm truly took the brunt of it, as it had a bunch of scratches and, like, you know, it got hit kind of thing. Like, there'll definitely be bruises tomorrow, if not by tonight.
Ooh. And so it's just like that was a little annoying, but I have no idea what I slept on. And I'm not surprised either. I mean, it's one of those kind of things where it's just like it happens. Should have been nothing that I could have slipped on, yet I still did. It's like, oh well, I'm not seriously injured, but it did hurt. That is for certain. Yeah, what can blue. Yeah, I figured I would just bring in the giant dragon. Figured that worked pretty darn well. Yep. It somewhat worked. Any four-way? Yes. Purple. Made a few mistakes with that match, but all works out in the end. Okay, now we'll try a few things. That might be a little bit better. That way there's some sound and some not. And then they do, yeah, I guess this is the trumpet noise. It's like, that's just, it's very annoying, especially when going through battle after battle. Yeah, slapping that back off. Going back to just my music mix. It's just the case where it's like, I don't want to deal with just like the trumpet fanfare of like, you beat a battle. It's like, gee, thanks. But I've been quite busy, as you probably have guessed. Mostly it's not just mostly, it just has been homework, just a lot of homework. And at the very least, I've been keeping up on classes and homework. And with that, I've also been doing actually pretty good. I can turn that down because it's a little loud. Been doing good with homework and midterms and tests. I did a freeform assignment, and I call it freeform because it wasn't the check your answers every step of the way kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure this is what's been taught so far. And like, I'm pretty sure this is how I'm supposed to do it. And ended up actually doing pretty good. Got an 85% or something. I think it was 86. But, it's that close to like, yeah, it's 85. Yeah, technically a little bit more, but also I'm like, I'm not too picky on the exact numbers. Anything around 85% is 85% for me. But I was quite happy with it. I was like, sweet. I guess I do actually know what I'm doing. Because that really was the biggest thing, was the case of just like, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't really know. And so it was just seeing that I got a Um, 85% was a very satisfying, like, oh, sweet. I am actually learning the stuff. Though this term as well has been a lot easier on me. As I started taking some more vitamins to deal with what I'm deficient in. And it's been really great. It's almost like maybe there's a case of, if I'm not getting the nutrients I need, I have a lot harder time actually learning. Or for it, to stick. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, I wonder who would have guessed. Yeah, we'll just do green because we just needed to explode a skull, and that was good. Oh, neck, poor neck. And then. Trying to think of the other things I did. Shortly after the last stream, I actually did decide to draw Beldrum as my Sith warrior character that I had in SWTOR. I still have. I currently play sometimes. I don't play it too often because one, I need to get the sub again to. Okay. I need to get the sub again to hit max level. So I'm just like, I'm busy enough as it is. So I'm like, I don't need to get a new sub. And then also I hit the like, I don't know what I really want to do in this game. So just gonna call it good. But for a few days I was having some fun with it. Yeah, for a few days I was having some good fun, and I was like, you know what? I feel like drawing Beldrum as I've made him in SWTOR. So I did. It was just nice and simple. And I'm not too happy with how I ended up doing the nose and lips. But it's at least more than what I usually do. I just don't know if it's necessarily better than what I usually do. Granted, it still looked better than having no nose, because I did try and have no nose, because no matter how I was doing it with my usual just flat color, or at most a gradient kind of thing, it just kept looking not right. It didn't look like a nose. It looked at best it looked just like a cone, which is that's not how that works. And so I kept trying a few things, eventually settled on what I ended up doing. I'm like, this doesn't look right, but it looks better than anything else, so I'm gonna call it good. And it really was a case of I need to eventually figure out how I do that, how I draw noses. Because apparently that's not something I know how to do. But either way, I was quite happy still with how the drawing in total turned out. It was just that little bit. But I did get a little bit better with the drawing of eyes. Partly because I had the radical idea, or not even necessarily idea, but realization, is if I make the area around the eye a little bit darker, it looks like it is sunken in just a little bit. Not necessarily like a sunken in eyeball, but just it makes it look more of this is the eye area of the face instead of just flat face. And so I was really happy with how that turned out. And it's definitely something I'm going to try and make sure I do in the future. And at some point I'm going to try and organize more of my Beldrum drawings and kind of make them a bit more similar, as well as let's have XYZ thing, or do different things to Oh, excuse me. To just kind of make them similar and not like, oh, I decided to have brown hair this time. This one had gray hair. This one has, brown or blonde hair. Like unify those kind of things so there'll be definitely two variants. There'll be the more human-like version of Beldrum, as well as the more like Cursed King's shadowy / action version. Blue sounds good. And so I'm like, okay, that, I'll have those two different ones, but I'm gonna try and start unifying, like, okay, this is what he looks like. This is actually how it should look, instead of just like winging it every time. Not that winging it is necessarily bad. It's just the case of like, I should probably try and make things a little bit more unified. It makes it easier for myself as well. Be like, oh yeah, this is how I did this thing. Nice. What else? Yeah, some point I'll do that. Though I will say the other nice thing is if I do indeed do that, and then I have some money, but that's the more difficult thing. I could then also, make a ref sheet, make some form of standardization, for the character, and then I could actually like commission the character, and that could be fun. I'm not sure who I do it with yet, but it is something that's like that could be really good, or at the very least quite fun. But I like every so often there's things where people are like, oh, draw this. I'm just like, I don't have like a standardized idea of of my character right now, or any of my characters, I should say. But it will be good at some point. Oh, my neck is going to be killing me for the rest of the day, probably. Should definitely fluff up my pillow again. Due to good old case of I probably need to do that for a little while now. And definitely with my neck already having issues, definitely is the case of I shouldn't give it another reason to hate me tonight. Wow, there's just like no good matches. Oh well. Guess that worked out. I guess green's about the only one that has anything. Wow, still nothing for actually setting it to blue. Quite unfortunate. There's so many like close calls with purple, but fully there's nothing but enchanted, so I can just go like this anyway, so. And in the end, I was overthinking things. Yeah, and then I think what else I was doing, because it really was the case I pretty much just did homework, and for the weekdays I should say, I did end up, this might be a little loud, I did end up doing did end up playing some more Baldur's Gate this weekend, and did not get that much sleep because of it. good old-fashioned case of just one more turn. Not even turn, because it's Baldur's Gate 3. But just a case of like, let me just finish this thing up. Let me just finish this thing. What I ended up doing pretty much was I finished up Act 2 from like start to finish through the weekend. I think I also finished up the Underdark Grimforge area just during the weekend stretch, including like Friday after I got homework done. Just like got it done, and it's like, wow, I've caught up on things and I'm having a lot of fun again. Let me just continue. And indeed, I did just like continue. What else? Let me think. Alright, Baldur's Gate still some more. I had an absolute blast though with Baldur's Gate 3. With initial one was amazing, and this second one well, technically it's like the 7th or 8th one I've started, but this is the first one, or I guess the second one that I've gotten to, or through Act 2. I've got another one, I got the actual second one to Act 2, but then I was like, I feel like messing around with other things, and then I messed around with other things, and then I was like, ooh, I feel like doing a monk. I feel like doing a Gith monk. And romancing Mithara for this run. And it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And it has been a chaotic mess, so this has actually been quite nice. Largely because I've done so many things strangely in strange order. Like I did the Wilds in Act 1. Got that pretty much all done, or almost everything there done, except for Anti-Ethel. But you know, made sure I got the Goblin Camp dealt with, and then went as soon as I got the Goblin Camp done, I went straight to Moonrise Towers. Like nothing else mattered. I saved Minthara. I then went back to the creche, and Minthara was like, I won't follow you, and you know, back there it's like, oh, alright then. So it was a case of like, you know, I rushed to get Minthara and then ended up not using her. And so it was the case of like, that's unfortunate. I hope I didn't break anything. And I potentially did. I will say there's a few things. Like, I ended up saving Barkus in the Grimforge. But he never ended up leaving my camp. Like, to go talk to Wolbrin once I saved Wolbrin. So it's a case of like, There's a few things like that where it's just like things weren't triggering properly. But there were so many different things that I'd never seen before. Like when I went to go to Moonrise Towers, I didn't get my usual thing, because I usually go, instead of like this time I went through the mountain pass, where I usually go through the Grimforge entrance, and so I got a different get to somewhere safe kind of thing, and it was quite interesting because one, it was the first time I had ended up fighting the dude on Tactician. He's a lot more difficult. And two, it was just fascinating because it was a case of like I didn't realize this was a possibility. And so honestly, that was the best part, was just like seeing a different way that I would never have probably run into it if I hadn't just barreled towards trying to get Minthara before anything else. It was just like, huh, fascinating. And then so then I went to the crash. I did all the crash stuff. I got the fancy weapon as well. And then I went into the Underdark, which was hilarious because actually no. Then I took care of Auntie Ethel, which was way too easy. I didn't get anything fancy because I didn't let her escape. No, I didn't even not let her escape. It was just by that point I got Volo's eye, and I was just like, I see you. And then she decided to just beat us up. Granted, I then beat her up because monks are incredibly powerful. I should say, monks that are 4th level or higher are incredibly powerful. But before that, they're alright. But as soon as you hit 4th level, you can get a feat. And you want to know what the best feat in the world is for an unarmed monk? It's Tavern Brawl. Because suddenly, the +4 or +3 that you have in strength can become a +4, because most of the time you'll have 17 strength, and the extra 1 you get from Tavern Brawler is now a +4. And oh look, you get to do another 4 points. And not to mention, it's not just damage, it's also attack. So not only are you doing more damage, you're also hitting more often. And I became an absolute destructive force. I was amazed with just how effective it was. And I was so happy. I was just like, this is incredibly powerful. And like comparing it to my build for Lae'zel, which I was doing Eldritch Knight this time around, because I was like, I haven't really done this before. I want to mess around with the spell casting and the sword swinging. And honestly, it worked out fairly well. It's worked out fairly well. She still does a lot of damage, that's for certain. But like compared to my monk's damage, it wasn't even close, kind of thing. I mean, it was close. It was only like 20% less. But it was still that kind of case of like, yeah, you know, I felt like I was doing a lot more. Yeah, let's do that. Ah, dang it. What was I thinking again? Most of my builds end up doing a lot of damage. So. Yeah, blue works. But it's just like we just decimated the anti-ethel. Just like, yep, no issues here. We've got lots of damage. I don't know why I did brown, but that at least worked. And the fun thing as well, as with this run, I am pretty much solely running with Lae'zel, Astarion, and Shadowheart until I got Minthara, and then Minthara replaced Shadowheart. And usually I'll shuffle up a bunch. I'll shuffle up a bunch, like I'll bring this here, this group there. But I was like, you know what? I am going to bring along the morally dubious characters as I play as a GIF. And then also one of my characters who's just a farmer. Just a nice, peaceful farmer. Just don't ask him about what he did before he farmed. Kind of one of those characters where I've made him have like a terrible past. Not like terrible for him, but terrible for everyone else. And so it's one of those cases where it's just like, there's reason, you know, he knows what he's doing. And it's like he's a good person now, and he wasn't necessarily a bad person before. It's just kind of the case of what he's done in the past. It's like he's become feared. I think good yellows. There is red at least. Yeah, that's not gonna kill anything, but this will. Yeah, I guess so. This is so close. It's okay, perfect. That'll work. It's like it's so close, but not enough damage. But then there's skulls. I could have just done skulls. But yeah, and then so after that, like I think I'm around level 6 by that point, and then I go into the Underdark, which usually is one of the first things I do once I've finished up top. Is then I go into Underdark, have a bunch of fun, cook what, you know, have trouble. This time it was just like, ah yes, difficulty? None. I am the difficulty. Because it's a combination of I know what to expect, and then also I felt over leveled for it, which was kind of fun to be honest. Yeah, let's just replace plan. And then I will actually say one of my favorite things was I always have a little bit of trouble with one of the items that you want to try and get down there. And this time I was like, wait a second. These things don't cause any issues unless they hit fire. What if I just put the torch out? And you want to know what happened? I put the torch out and there was no issue. I mean, there still is like a bunch of poison damage and stuff. But like, that's it. Like, I don't have to worry about the item getting destroyed. It's just... Yeah, now there's some poison damage if you mess up. So it's just kind of fun. It was like, oh wait, this is so much easier than I've done at all before. Purple. And also, I will say, I do try my best to try and say as little spoilers as possible when it comes to the game. Because it's so much better when you don't have spoilers. But there are definitely times where I go too far into a tangent or something and end up spoiling something. Oops. So if that does happen, I apologize. That's really about all I can do, because I may just accidentally. Though I make sure... Well, I can't really even say I make sure, because I want to say I make sure that nothing major will be spoiled, but who knows? It's one of those cases of like, I want to say nothing important would be spoiled, but who knows if my randomly spouting brain, you know, decides like, oh yeah, this is a fine thing to say when it's not necessarily something that I should say just because it spoils things. Yeah. The brain is, once it gets talking, it just is not too good at shutting up. Actually, it's still really good at shutting up. Largely due to the good old-fashioned case of, where was I again? I forgot where I was going. But like, besides that, it's not too good at actually stopping. Stopping for a reason, I should say. It's good at stopping randomly and unknowingly. But give it a reason, and it's like, I got no idea why you're giving me a reason. Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. That works. And then I have to punch both those. That's actually kind of annoying. Yeah, green be damned. That also works. Yeah, the underdog is a lot easier. Also, because at that point I was like, I'm just having too easy of a time. I'm kicking too many butts. I'm having no challenge. I was like, you know what? Instead of what I usually do, which is try and grab one side of the faction of Draugr. I think it's Draugr. I don't know. I don't know how to say the name. Um, but I think the Deep Dwarves? No, that's Deep Elves is Elder Scrolls. There still might be Deep Dwarves. But either way, the ones that live in the Underdark. I usually try and work with one side or the other. So that way I don't have to worry about dealing with like most of them or like all of them when I'm fighting. And then on top of that, I usually will slim down their ranks by taking them like a few at a time, going like, hello, Gink, and just like, goodbye. You're taken care of now. Do not resist. You're being destroyed. But there's a double case, one case. Nine. Oh, there's no good yellow. That's very unfortunate. Oh well. I don't even do enough damage just to punch it easily. Oh, there's some purple. And a little overkill. I usually also end up doing a lot of, just ganking enemies that are off to the side, so that way when it comes to a major attack, it's just like, ah yes, you few that survive. But this time I didn't take care of any except for the ones that were drinking ale, and I didn't even poison them. I just went like, nah, you die now. Just no subtlety, no finesse, just like, I'd like you to meet something. It's my fist, donk. Which actually was exactly what happened. Just like, hello, bonk, bonk. Because by that point, like, I believe I had the extra attack every turn, combined with, skip that one, combined with the flurry of blows as well. It was just the case of like, you know what? I have an idea. We're doing it. And I was very happy with it. Yeah, okay, let's do that. And else looks like purple. And then the one with the spiders. That's the only one I also then ganked, because that's like, spiders, be free. And then dealt with the handlers. Oh, and also dealt with the ones that were tossing corpses. I was just like, hello, you shall die. Oh, good to see you, Link. You must die. I've got that scene stuck in my head from one of the like early Zelda games. I think it's like CDI or something. I don't know, but different from what I've seen before. And it's such just a fun thing because and I don't even think it's actually like a line in it. I know the "you must die" is from it, but I think the Link, so good to see you is just from Game Grumps. But either way, it's like whenever I end up thinking of like, oh, you must die, I end up thinking of the Ah, it's so good to see you. You must die. Oh, yeah. You know, maybe that wasn't a great idea to let him freeze me. I kind of forgot about that idea. Oh, interesting. Apparently, if you remove dragon gems, they still explode. Because that's what happened. Hey, perfect. We got cleansed. I can do blue. Yeah, do that. But yeah, and then when I freed the gnomes, I just attacked the entire dwarf camp. It was just the case of like, yeah, I could deal with all this, and I could. Poor Shadowheart did not get to survive that encounter. Because I kind of forgot about lava, and you see, they have arrows that launch you back. She did not save on that athletics check. It was like, whoops. Oh well, we didn't need her anyways. As I then continued just to punch through things, Astarion did what he was doing best. Sneak attacks, dealing some damage. He doesn't actually do that much damage, I learned. Like, it's a nice feel-good amount of damage in one hit, but it's also the case of, like, you put it into damage per turn, it suddenly looks a lot less interesting. Oh, but he was doing good. Shadowheart at that point, I really didn't have any good spells, and that's really a lie, to be honest. Because I always have good spells on them, I just don't use them properly, really. Oh, excuse me. Because, like, I have some amazing spells that I do try and use. Like, Rain Fog. It's a very effective spell, I must say. No. Spiky Ground or Spike Growth or whatever it's actually called. It was has been quite useful because there's been many times where it's like giant group of enemies, but they're all on this side and I'm on the other side, and then I can just spike growth in the middle and they just will walk through it to try and get to me, and as such they just take a lot of damage to the point where they just walk to their doom. It's quite nice. Because there are some enemies where I'm just like, this is gonna destroy me, and I'm just like, spike growth, and then it's no issue. Actually, I did that quite a lot with the Crash. Just like, oh, they're on this walkway. Let me just spike growth. They'll never think to use their Misty Step to go right over it, which is quite unfortunate, I will say. I kind of wish that they would use it more consistently, because the thing is, they did use it sometimes right at the end. It was like, what? Or like, I think with that encounter specifically, it was the case of the two minions didn't, but the main person did. It's like, you should evolve his Mystic Wand. And I think it was just because they're ranged. Like, there's a few things where it's just like, what? Though, as I've leveled up, I replaced, not even replaced, I still use Spike Growth, but I then started also using, no, that's brown. I was gonna turn the blue to yellow, and I was like, wait, no, that's a brown combo, unfortunately. I can do green. Oh, sorry. Oh, that'll work. Almost. Oh, no, that'll work. since replaced it with like Insect Plague, which I like, but I've realized is not as good as I thought it was. Namely because I was thinking it was going to be similar to Spiky Growth, but it isn't a per movement thing, it's just a per turn thing. Like, it does slow them down, but it just seems less effective. At least with what I've done, it's felt less effective. But Wall of Fire, on the other hand, ooh boy, that thing is wonderful. It just melts foes left and right, including your allies if they end up walking in front of it. Or not in front of it, you know, through it. It just, there's been too many times where I'm just like, dang it, ally, you didn't need to walk through there, and how did you? Oh. Ah, there's a lot of yellow gems on the field. I usually calculate like 12, because that's, though to be fair, 12 is the normal, constant, normal number. But, you know, since we're converting things, it makes sense that there's like 20 or so. Because we're directly playing the, like, hey, there's going to be more, we want more of this. There shall be more of this. Now, there's really just nothing good, so I'll just do that. Oh, perfect, that worked. Oh, so close. So close. So annoyingly close. Oh, perfect. I'm so glad that they were like, here, have these skulls to finish me off. Ugh, my stuffy nose is returning. Also, I was really bad with this weekend because I was so focused on Baldur's Gate 3. I did not take as much, not as much, but didn't take my medicine as I should have. Took the important ones. But I didn't make sure to take my inhalers or the nasal spray. So I got really stuffy again, and it's no fun. But it is what it is. Oh, we destroyed these. Aw, they have spell armor. Oh, perfect scopes. Yeah, what else did I do? Yeah, I finished up Act 2. Oh yeah, spells. I was trying to like, what else he got? Though I will say, I love Call Lightning because at times, like most of the time, it's alright. It's pretty good just due to the fact that you can, as long as you can keep concentration, you can keep casting it every turn. Like that is what you do that turn. But it's kind of nice because usually you'll throw a cantrip the enemy way if you're kind of done with your major spells. Or, you know, you're trying to conserve some spells, so just like, you know, throw a cantrip. But like with Call Lightning, it basically becomes what you do for that battle. And it is so nice. And on top of that, like the biggest thing is the fact that hey, nothing good. You know, because with lightning or cold damage, which I kind of forgot about the cold side of things, but you can make it so that enemies take double damage by just throwing some water on them, because they'll take double lightning or cold damage when wet. So during the final boss fight of Act 2, I drenched them, and I gave Chihara, because she came along with me. I was like, I might as well. She wants to deal with this. I might as well allow her to, have some fun. So I did basically the same thing. Went Druid, Druid caster, please, and built her for lightning. And then when the fighting started, I drenched the dude, and then I utilized Potion of Speed, so that she gets speed for 3 turns, which is long enough. Doing double damage, and then also casting a 5th level Call Lightning every single turn. It only lasted 4 turns, and that's because he just barely survived on but he barely survived the end of turn 3. Granted, I also did get downed at the end of turn 3. But it was so satisfying, literally doing 100 points of damage of just call lightning, because that's the biggest thing. I easily can do 100 plus points of damage on my monk just by punching them with speed, especially if I have the bonus bonus action, because then it's just like flurry of blows to hell and back. Oh, excuse me. But just seeing like Call Lightning especially was doing that much damage, it's just like, woo, this feels good. It's like, what can I steal that won't screw me over? Oh dang it, I'm gonna have to punch that one. Sorry, my brain's been in and out like all day. Actually, just all week it's been in and out. Largely as well. The sleep absolutely wrecked me. Or like it caught up with me from this weekend. Yesterday, and then I don't think I slept too well either today, but it was very much on Monday. I just barely got any sleep due to just really it was just a case of like I slept. Dang it, I didn't mean to. I meant to check. Perfect. Okay. Because I stayed up really late too many times playing Baldur's Gate 3 this weekend, to the point where it was like, you know what? That's the reason I'm probably really tired today being today and Monday. This is probably holdover from, not getting enough sleep this weekend. It's come back to haunt me, which is super fair, because it is very much the case of like, I did not get the sleep I should have. And I then suffered the consequences of those, actions. I have no regrets, though, because I loved every minute of playing through Act 2. Because the thing is with, like, Act 2, it is very much like once you get started, you just keep going and going and going. Like, oh, I want to do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. And it is great. Oh, sorry. My throat is killing me for talking this long. But it's been a little while, so I've been wanting to talk. Oh, and then I don't think what else. Yeah, just like going through Act 2 is just like, oh, I just want to do this, do that, do that. Because the little micro stories of the different stuff you can find in areas, it's like, oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, that's pretty neat. But then, like, the overarching things, it's just like, hello, big thing here. You want to finish this. And then, hey, look, we'll put it onto, you know, a different thing, where then you're like, ooh, I should try and finish that. It's it's a lot of fun. And like, there's a reason why I'm like, I have no regrets. It was so much fun. You know, the only issue is that it was too fun. As I joked around yesterday, I was just thinking like, you know, like, hello waiter, I must complain, my meal is too good. I've been served a too fine quality meal. The rest of my things are ruined in comparison. Though I've enjoyed plenty of my other games since playing Baldur's Gate 3. But it is just definitely the case where I'm like, I just have so much fun with Baldur's Gate 3. And there'll be times where I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of done with Baldur's Gate 3 for a little bit. Lux Scrolls. What are Lux Scrolls? I have no idea. Okay, I should have checked what that was, because that's not there. Oh. But yeah, it's just like have a ton of fun. And yeah. Like Act 1, it feels a lot easier to just go like, okay, that's a good stopping point. Let's go to sleep. Or, you know, let's call that a day. Do whatever other projects and stuff I should be working on. With like Act 2, it very much has that kind of feeling of just, I might as well keep going. That's actually really nice. Whew. That's not a... I really was thinking that'd be a three-way. That's not how that works. But that actually worked out better. Perfect. Oh, there's a lot of skulls. Oh well. Oh sweet, bonus turn. Like with Act 1, there's a lot of like, you can finish up the beach, get to the grove, call that good. You can do the cathedral, the Wither's Tomb, I guess I'll call it. Like, you could do that and be like, oh, yeah, that's good. You can do the swamp. Not even necessarily anti-Ethel. You could just do the swamp area and be like, yeah, that's good. Like, Tia's a, you know, that's a good boss fight kind of thing. You know, do that as a main focus. Like, you can just do the grove stuff and be like, yeah, that's good. You can do the harpies and go, we didn't do the harpies. I swear, I have the hardest time with the harpies. However, I realized... No, correction. Did not just realize it. Someone talked about it on Reddit, I think. Because I was commenting about, like, how I just never can seem to find a use for protection from good and evil. But someone pointed out that it gives you advantage, or maybe it's immunity, I can't remember. If it's immunity, I am... Oh, yeah, I'm making everyone clerics or whatever I need for low-level protection from good, and doing the harpies so that everyone just is like, surprise, suckers, we're immune. Because that would make things so much easier if I just could be immune to the charm. Because I swear that charm is one of the hardest things to resist at that point in the game. Because that's the thing, is that you can do it, you know, like if you were to do it much later, like theoretically if you were to do it at the end of, you know, Act 1 kind of stuff. Granted, you can't really, because by that point, the kiddo's dead. But, like, I don't know, I should grab that. But like if you did, then it would probably be fairly decent to do. But like by the time within, or I should say, within the time frame that you kind of have for it, you kind of just have to, like, it's going to be quite the difficult fight. Okay, red. Ooh. Have it close to the yellow from the middle area. Yeah, I can do brown. Oh, she's gotten a few cases of increase her magic. Oh, it's like 156 points of damage. Ooh. But yeah, like those harpies are just wildly, wildly powerful to the point where I'm like, you know what? These are like a comeback to this later. You know, like once I've decided to try and take out the goblin camp, I try and take out the harpies. Because honestly, like without any hint of a joke, the goblin camp is a million times easier to take out than those 4 harpies. And it just comes down to the case that those harpies, they charm you, and then you don't get to do anything. And like, that's the big thing, you know, you don't get to actually do anything. Because you're charmed. I can do this. I really thought I was clearing out that one, but another one fell right into place. Yeah, I guess just green, really. So it's like they can chart. Hey, Rex! Good to see you here. I hope you're doing better. But good to see you here as well. Thank you very much, Rex. I hope your day is going well, and if it's not, I hope you get the rest you need. But thanks for stopping by. I love seeing you here. I love seeing anyone that I, can notice. It's like, oh, sweet, that person again. Especially the friends that I know outside of random streams. Oh, you did? Oh, dang it. Let me check this. Huh. Yeah, not sure why that, decided to have issues. Oh, that's not fun. Death mark, hunter mark, hand web. Oh, gotta take that then. Yeah, no idea. But yeah. Oof. That is rough. Oh, dang it. I look away and then my my damage dealer in general is dead. That's gonna be a little rough. Oh, but yeah. No, get some rest. I really hope you feel better. Or get better. And then eventually feel better. Because that is no fun. I think this one's gonna be the dangerous one. I will have a quite the fun stream. It's been going good so far. I've also been rambling about Baldur's Gate 3, as I seem to do every time I end up playing it recently. Something to do with just how fun of a game it is. Don't think where I was other than the harpies. Those dang harpies really are just a nuisance. Oh, dang it. I was doing so good, and then there's like, hello, surprise. We got skulls. Actually, though, speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I do plan on at some point streaming a honor mode run. But it will probably be quite a while from now, because of the fact that, one, I'm currently doing another normal run, namely Tactician difficulty, which still has felt way too easy because I just do too much damage. But like once I finish that up, and then also take some time away from it, because I found like it's good to try and take breaks so that it's been like a little while so you mostly remember what's going on, but like overall you're like, ooh, that's something different, or like, ooh, what's this thing, what's that thing, and you have, you know, a bit more fun with it. There are like nothing. I'm just gonna do this then. Oh, there was. I was like, there's nothing to match. Oh, perfect. That actually worked out. But I do plan on trying to do, you know, once I take a break, have some fun, I will then try and do an honor mode run. Because I want to try and do an honor mode run. One, just for, you know, the fun reward and achievement. But also because it's the case of like, oh, I kind of want to try and figure out, not figure out necessarily, but I want to try and have the highest difficulty and see what I can actually get away with, kind of thing. I will say my tactics of steal everything may be a little bit more difficult, just due to the case of some vendors don't like having you actually steal from them to the point where they will attack you, like the Zentrim. So it is actually going to be a case where I will probably have to steal stuff from the other vendors who'll just be like, I'm throwing you in jail. And then I walk out of jail 10 seconds later. But it'll have to be like that where I have to get my gold from somewhere. And that somewhere will probably be the normal vendors. And then from there, I spend it on... Oh, actually, if I can double tap that one, dang it. And then from there, I can... You just get, like, spend the cash that I'm getting. Because that could be good. Ah, dang it. Punch. Just need one more punch. Hey, look, one more punch. That was a bit of a rough battle. I will switch around my main character. So that way, he is a meat shield, because that's all he's good for. Oh. But yeah, because there's still like a lot of items that I would want to try and get. But if I try and steal them and then fail with certain vendors, like the Zentarum, they're just like, oh, you're gonna die now. It's like, oh, that's alright when I'm doing it on non-honor mode, because then I can just reload and it's like nothing ever happened. But when it's on honor mode, I can't. And then at that point, I have to kind of make sure, like, okay, gotta make sure I don't anger these, because I really want these, you know, these items specifically. Granted, there really aren't too many items that I care about getting from vendors. Beyond, like, especially from those Zentarum, the gloves that give you advantage on sleight of hand checks. Those are the best, like, bar none. Those are such wonderful things to have. Oop, that's red. Ooh, purple. Because it makes stealing basically a guarantee. Instead of like, oh, you know, I might, you know, get some, I might not, you know, like, because you always have the worry of running into a 1 and guarantee fail. But you have a really low chance of running into 2 once and, you know, 1 double roll. So advantage basically makes it so I just never have to worry when I'm stealing. Every so often, yeah, there's still an issue. But like for the most part, you're good to go. Which is very satisfying, because then you can just like, hello enemy vendor inventory, I'd like your whole stock please. I don't need any of these, and I definitely don't need scale mail +2. But I am taking it. Am I going to use it? No. Am I going to sell it? Also no. However, with the honor mode run, I probably will end up selling like anything that I don't need. Because it'll be the case of just like, I need to get the gold somehow. So that way I don't risk losing items with important vendors. I don't need a bonus turn, but that'll be nice. I did give them a bonus turn. But I also need to figure out which vendors can I steal from without them being upset. Because I don't know. Because that, like, it is an interesting thing of, like, not something I usually, you know, really consider, because I just save scum all the time. But, you know, the nice thing with honor mode is it's like, yep, you make a mistake, you don't pass a check, that's just how it is. Which, you know, has its ups and downs. Overall, I think it's going to make for quite the interesting. Okay. You know, with just this image, it's like, that's just a knight. That's not even a bird. That's not, you know, a beast. So I was so confused when it was given, you know, or it was transformed into that. Oh, my poor throat. Apparently I need to speak more. Actually, not too surprising. Also, I had some fun. I made some new alerts today. Namely, I made some new follow alerts, sub alerts, raid alert, goals started and ended alert, that kind of stuff. Just different lines as Beldurum. And had some fun with that. There's a few things I just couldn't really record properly. That's literally just my own issue. As one of them, I can't remember, I think it was the raid. Yeah, the raid one. Welcome my friends, welcome my foes, welcome all, for all are well under my banner. The S for friends and for foes, like the was just really not sharp, but just not right. And it was just like I wasn't able to cut it off nicely. Which is like, oh, that's kind of unfortunate. But I just kept having that issue. It's like, dang, I need to practice talking some more. Which isn't too surprising, all things considered. I've always had some issues when it comes to talking. Whether it's just social anxiety issues or actual speech impediments. I've had my fair share of issues. But it is what it is. Practice makes things better. Doesn't make them perfect. Dang, no one's charged. I don't count him as being charged. Ooh. Oh, purple. I think that worked quite nicely. She probably won't die if I had to guess. Oh, she did. One. Yeah. think I'm going to try and call it a stream after this battle. You can probably tell my voice has been getting rougher and rougher. My throat is starting to sting a lot from just talking too much. So it's like, I'm gonna try and rest it a little bit. I was planning on trying to do a much longer stream, due to just a good old-fashioned combination of it's been a little while, and there's a good amount of stuff I want to try and do on stream. But that's, only possible if my voice decides to work. Kind of annoying, there's no good matches. But I guess we'll do a little bit of blue. Yeah, I figured he would steal my mana. Yeah, let's do purple. Oh, I'm definitely having a good time with streaming, though. That is for certain. Only downside is my voice doesn't. It's due to the fact that I don't do it enough. He'll be dead soon. Doesn't matter. So, might as well just do that a bit. Yeah, that worked out. I've also got the battle music stuck in my head for Baldur's Gate. Because it's such a bop. Just do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then not to mention the fact that, like, if you're losing, then it's a bit more somber. Not like necessarily somber, but like it's more of it has an inflection of like, oh no, things aren't going well. As, like akin to if you're indeed losing. And then it's like when you defeat something, it lightens up like, ta-da, you're doing things. But it also does it very seamlessly, which is what I adore with it. Da 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 da. Da 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 dee do 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 da 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 dee da do 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 da 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 dee do 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 do. You can do brown. It'll work for most of the mana. And what more mana? I didn't actually get more mana. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Wonderful. Got that Doom destroyed. Well, on our ways for that. I think we should be able to hit that, but I don't know for certain. Yeah. So I'm gonna call it good. If you wish to join, try and get that screen. Our guild is Loot and Plunder, so if anyone is playing Gems of War and not just here watching me talk about Baldur's Gate 3, you are free to join the guild. Slots may be full, but there's always usually a few people that I need to prune out of the guild. So if you ever do like wanna join the guild but it's full, feel free to maybe message me on here. I actually have no idea how that works, but you can also join the Discord and ask to join, and I'd be more than happy to bring you in. And then of course if you end up deciding to stop playing or something, then I end up pruning you, but there's no hard feelings. All are welcome, but all can be pruned as well. I also might at some point make a Gems of War section in my Discord, but that would require me to be a lot more active and consistent. I'm just not consistent enough for what I want to do. So, yeah, let's hit to the ending screen. I realize I didn't have a button for that. But I hope you all enjoyed. It was wonderful to see Rex here. I realize, actually, I never did a shout out for Rex. And let's see if this button works. This does. They deserve a shout out. Not that I have anyone watching on Twitch right now, though I did see actually a good number of people um on watching on Twitch earlier. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, if anyone wants to go check out my friend, they are on Rageosaurus Rex on Twitch. They haven't streamed for a while, but they, like me, are also taking college classes. Or I'm pretty sure at least, and also working. So they're really busy, and just like me, doesn't actually get around to streaming too often. But they are an absolute blast to watch when they do stream. So always feel free to check them out. Sorry that doesn't show up on the YouTube side of things. I don't know a good easy way to move things, so sorry. Oh, actually, I guess it does show up because I have it on the ending screen, and the ending screen shows both chats. It actually works out wonderful. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow so you can catch when I'm live next. You can also follow me on like Blue Sky or Threads, and I tend to put a going live message. You can also join the Discord and get double pinged for when I go live, because I have two bots for it. Because I have one for the YouTube side of things and one for the me I'm going live side of things. But I wish there was a nice way to make it so that it didn't say that there was a new video when I was going live, but I don't know how to make sure that happens. And I can't just turn the bot off for now, since I can't turn it back on if I do. So, it is what it is. But yeah, and then if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you can see more of my videos and streams when they happen. I haven't done editing for a while, so there's not going to be any new videos for quite a bit of time, but I think the next edited series is going to be either Dragon Quest IX or more likely Heroes, because Heroes is shorter and more very streamlined, so I could cut that up pretty easily. But that would be a fun thing to do eventually. Trying to think of what else. What else? Yeah. You can also follow the VOD channel, Guardianamic VODs on YouTube. And if you miss any of the streams, they will be there. I've almost caught up on the last month or two of streams of uploading those, because it takes most of the day to upload, because I have some terrible upload speed. Quite literally to the point where we had a slight dip in upload speed, and then we had to get a new router because it made it so that I couldn't stream, because it went from barely doable to not doable enough. Oh, and ads are in. If I realized ads were queuing up on stream, I would have stopped that. Oh well. I shall stop my blabbering. I do hope you all enjoyed. I might stream tomorrow. I don't know if I will, because I have to do more homework. And if I do the easy homework tomorrow, I'll end up streaming. If I do the longer homework tomorrow, I'm definitely not streaming. So, depends on how I'm feeling, because I want to try and get the longer homework out of the way. Oh wait, actually no, I don't have the shorter homework. I have midterm instead. So I'll be doing the longer homework. So yeah, probably no stream tomorrow. If there is, huzzah, but most likely there won't be. And then probably won't be any on Thursday, because I'll be doing a midterm. Maybe. No, I probably will, because at least by the afternoon it'll be open. So I'll probably be busy Thursday. So probably Friday. I could probably get another thing on stream on Friday for certain. Doesn't mean it's impossible to do on Wednesday or Thursday. Just I'm going to be busy as it is, and if I'm already busy, most likely not streaming. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time. Bye bye.